Hello, boys and girls. Today we're looking at place value, and I wanted to show you an anchor chart. I like to call it the power of 10. And if you notice, here's a place value chart, and there's a number in each box, and it's the same number. And it looks kind of funny, but I want to show you. So this number is 444,444. Now remember, when you see this comma, you don't say and. Whenever you're reading numbers, you never say and. You only say and if there's a decimal point, like for example, in money. But if there's a comma, you don't say and. So if you notice on this chart, the numbers as they're going to the left here, they're increasing by 10. That means the value is increasing. Remember, value is how much it's worth. And the place value is the ones, the tens, the hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000. These are called place values. But the value of these are right here in the bottom. 4, 40, 400, 4,000, 40,000, and 400,000. Those are actually called the values. So if you're looking at here it says increasing by times 10, going to the left. As you go to the right on the place value chart, the numbers are actually decreasing, which would be the opposite. You would divide by 10. So, for example, the value of this in the ones place of this 4 in the ones place is 4. If you multiply that by 10, it turns into 40. If you keep going times 10, 400. You keep going times 10, 4,000. Keep going, 40,000 and 400,000. In third grade, we go up to 100,000. That's why it stops there. But when you go to 4th and 5th grade, you'll keep going and you'll learn even more place values. And as you go to the right, you just do the opposite. 400,000 divided by 10 is 40,000. Divided by 10 is 4,000. Divided by 10 is 400. Divided by 10 is 40. Divided by 10 is 4. Now, I'm sure you've noticed the pattern. Every time you multiply a number by 10, you are adding a 0. If you notice as you move to the left, there's no zeros. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros, 5 zeros. That's because whenever you multiply a number by 10, you're increasing it by times 10. It's 10 times greater than the number before it. That's why this anchor chart is called the power of 10. Whenever you multiply by 10 going to the left, it's increasing by times 10. Whenever you're going to the right on the place value chart, you're decreasing it by dividing by 10. It's getting smaller going to the right. It's getting bigger going to the left. So this is an anchor chart you can have in your journal and you and your teacher can make together to put up in your classroom. Now, we're going to do an example. So here is a problem that we're going to do together. So this says, Mr. Vito's class read a total of 36,682 minutes. Which equation shows the relationship between the values of each 6 in this number? Now I'm going to circle this word relationship because when you're talking about numbers, it's important to know the relationship. And what that word means is how two things are connected. So a connection of that would be me and my sister have a relationship. How are we connected? Well, we're sisters. Me and my daughter have a relationship. I'm her mother, she's my daughter. So relationship is how two things are connected to each other. And in place value and in numbers in general, there's a lot of relationship between numbers. So they have the number 36,682. And they want us to, and let's go back to the question. We always have to make sure that we understand the question. Which equation shows the relationship between the values of each 6? So that's the numbers that we have to find the value of. So here's our number. And I'm just going to make a place value chart out of this. Easy to do. You take your number and you make a chart. Remember, whenever you're working with place value, you need your chart, any kind of chart that you'd like to make, whatever's easier for you. So here's our ones place, tens place, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. Okay, so they want us to know what? The value of each 6. So remember, these are our place values right here. And our values, we're gonna write right underneath that number right now. They want us to know, they want us to find the values of the 6s. We can go ahead and write all the values. So this is 2, the value is 2 because it's in the ones place. What is the value of this 8? It's in the tens place, so the value is 80, right? What's the value of this 6? It's in a hundreds place, so the value must be 600. What about this 6? The value would be, now that would be, remember, every time you move to the left, you're increasing by times 10. So 600 times 10, remember, whenever you multiply by 10, you just add one more 0. So you write 600 and you would add one more 0, which would make it 6,000. 10,000's place, so that's 6,000. And the value of this one would be 30,000. But for this problem, they want us to focus on these 2 6s right here. So how did we get from this 6 to this 6? They multiplied by 10. Remember the power of 10. So here are our choices. And the question again was, which equation shows the relationship between the values of each 6? Well, let's see. 6 times 10 is 60. No, we did 600 times 10 equals 6,000. That's what we ended up with. 600, you multiply by 10 because you're increasing. Remember, you're increasing to the left, times 10, and that gave us 6,000. So we know it cannot be A. B says 10 times 60 equals 600. No, 60 would mean that it was in the tens place, and that's not where it was. So that's not it. Okay, 10 times 600 is 6,000. Is that correct? We have 600 times 10 is 6,000, which is the same thing. Whenever you're multiplying numbers, the order does not matter. You still get the same total or product. So I can rewrite this way, and it still gives me the same answer. So yes, let's question mark that one. We always gotta check all of them just to be sure. 10 times 6,000 is 60,000. Now this would mean that it was in the thousands place. And we did times 10 to get to the 10,000s place. This is 10,000. And that's not what we did. So the correct answer would be C. So remember, as you move to the left, you're increasing. That's the power of 10. You're multiplying by 10 each time. It's getting bigger to the left. When you go to the right, you're decreasing by dividing by 10. We will see you next time.